We're going to run the wires and hoses through the cable carrier. What you'll need is your water hose. Your hose will be blue, but mine is just marked with blue tape. Your air hose, this is the clear hose. Your camera, and this wire from your Z-axis motor. Just make sure it's all gathered together. Uncoil the camera cable, and the camera just slips right into this circular portion on your tool head. You take your camera cable, don't run it between the lead screw and the Z-axis. You can just feed this through the cable carrier. When it gets to the curve, what you need to do is just take a few links out. They just pop right out. Four should do it. Set these aside, you're going to need them later. And you just feed your camera cable through the cable carrier. Alright, so after you've done the camera cable, you repeat the process with your Z-axis motor cable. And once again, just make sure it's not running in between the lead screw and the Z-axis. Pull that through. Next we're going to repeat the process with the two hoses. If you need to use an Allen key to kind of push these cables off to the side, you might be able to get two hoses in at once, but usually it's easier to just do one at a time. And last, we do our air hose. And now your hoses are fed through the cable carrier. Cables are fed through. You just take these links that you popped out from the corner, and just pop those back in. You notice that there's two different sides to this little pin. The side that only has one claw fits into that little plastic bar there.
The other big difference, I think, from last time is now that I took off 12 rounds, they don't really end at the same place. So for example, you could have...
Alright, next we're going to attach our hoses to our tool head. So you take the air hose and attach it to the hose coupler that's closer to the center of Farm Bot Eden. Just carefully support the tool head from underneath. And this hose just slides right down over the coupler. And we repeat the process with the water hose using the coupler that's closer to the Z-axis beam. Again, just nice and easy, supporting the tool head from underneath. Slide that hose all the way down. So you also need to take one of your micro switches with its long wire and feed this through the cable carrier just like we did the other ones. Okay, we're also going to take our Z-axis micro switch, and this Bend your wires back. Just presses in to this slot on the side of the tool mount. You may have to bend things around a little bit to make sure they fit. Just like that. Alright, so next you're going to take your short length of corrugated plastic hosing, camera cable, the micro switch cable, and the hoses. Everything just pops into this tubing. Alright, so once you've got all your hoses and cables fed through, any extra slack, just need to make sure you pull out all that assembled. Just make sure there's enough slack in your hoses such that the Z-axis can bring the tool head all the way to the ground. And that there's enough slack in your Z-axis motor cable such that the Z-axis can go all the way to the top. Just make sure when you bring the Z-axis all the way to the top that the lead screw doesn't come out of the lead screw block. Next, you get another micro switch, and this micro switch is going to press into place right here on the cross slide motor mount. One fits in real nice. To get your long corrugated plastic hosing, you're going to feed both micro switch wires, your camera cable, both your Z-axis and your cross-slide motor cables and your tubing, all through this hose.
Oh, man. Woo! The next one.
After those are all done, you take your rotational motor cable and feed that through as well. Ours isn't long enough. Alright, so once you've got all your cables fed through your corrugated plastic hose, just leave some slack in this corrugated plastic hose. And take a hose clamp, slide it right over everything. Leave some slack here so that Farmbot Eden can spin around all the way. And then you just use your drill with your Phillips head driver and a wood screw. Screw down that hose clamp.
Yeah.
This just holds the plastic hosing tight against the legs so the wires don't interfere with your plants.